Alright, so Happy New Year to everybody. I hope everybody had a good night last night, got home safe. I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you did. But I had didn't have a lot of questions this week, but the questions that I had were super hard. Um, and so that's the reason that I'm getting up a little late with my Q&A this week because I really had to think about some of these. Um, my question for this week is. Uh, Do you have a series out there right now that you're reading that you hope gets a lot better in 2015? Uh, Mine is like Black Science. Uh, I really liked Black Science in the beginning, and I'm not really enjoying it now. So I'm hoping that Black Science picks back up because I really want to support Remeter. And so, yeah. Um, my questions that I got asked from Kayla Segan, I got asked since I like villains. Uh, I love these villain questions because villains are awesome. Um, but since I like villains, is there a villain out there that I would like to see in an ongoing series or a mini? I would always like to see Poison Ivy in an ongoing. Um, but if I had to have a mini, um, I would like an origin story of probably like Kingpin from Daredevil because I super enjoy him. Always have. He's one of my favorite villains. Uh, I would really like to see that. Uh, I'm a Dragon Zod. Ask what my favorite era of comics is. I really, a lot of people don't like the 90s. Uh, I really like the 90s. The Vertigo stuff and the Image stuff. Um, I felt like Todd McFarlane just revolutionized comics with Spawn. Um, from Vertigo, Vertigo had so many freaking good titles. Um, you know, Preacher and Sandman and all that came out. Um, Kingdom Come, which is one of my favorite series, came out during that time. Um, just so much good stuff that came out during the 90s that I would. That's definitely got to be one of my favorite. I mean, there were bad things that happened in the 90s, but for the most part, I really like the 90s. Um, because I don't really like anything before the 80s. Um, and I'm weird in that, I guess. Um, because I don't really care for the art. I like the art and the way that it went. I'm not a big comic book code type of person. And so, I didn't really like those comic book code stories that went on back then. Um, and then let's see, we got Mercy's Little Show ask. So I dropped 22 DC titles, and I'm really just done with the big two. And Mercy's Little Show asked what they would have to do to get me back. And this is a pretty hard question because it's not any one thing that DC has done that. Well, no, it is. It is really one thing that DC has done that made me leave DC. Uh, the reason I got back into collecting comics was the New 52, and Convergence makes me believe that the New 52 universe that I got into is has failed, and that I've invested all of my money and all of my time into into something that you're just gonna dismiss and go to something else. And I'm not really a fan of that. Um, I guess if DC came out on the backside of Convergence and it still has some of the things that I like. Uh, I mean, I understand the reasoning for Convergence is that you're moving your offices, and so you're going to have this one story that, you know, is going to do whatever. It just seems to me like a flashpoint, and if you're going to restart this so that I have to totally go back and get these characters and relearn them, I'm not a fan of that. Uh, and I think that you've got a pretty sad market share right now in comparison to Marvel. Uh, but I mean, Marvel's doing the same thing with their Secret Wars thing they're doing this month or this year. So I mean, I'm just really kind of done with your events. All your little events lead up to a big event, and when it's done right, it's great. You know, Spider Verse was really really good, but uh, I don't know. Anyway, that's about all I got to say about that. What they've got to do to get me back is to come out on the backside of Convergence with something that I've currently been reading and not something totally new that me, as a loyal DC person, has invested so much time and money into. Um, and then Stacy Pool S asked me if I could make a DC movie, what would I make and who would I cast? This was crazy hard. Uh, I would make a Kingdom Come movie because I freaking love Kingdom Come comic. And then my cast on Kingdom Come would be that I would have George Clooney as Superman. Ben Affleck can go ahead and be Batman. Just age him a little bit. I want Lena Headey from that plays Cersei on Game of Thrones to be my Wonder Woman. Jason Momoa, that also from Game of Thrones. I want to be my Shazam. I would like Hugh Jackman to be my Spectre. My Norman McKay, I would like to be Matt Smith from Doctor Who. And Lex Luthor, well, there's got to be Kevin Spacey because I honestly think that Kevin Spacey's a pretty good Lex Luthor. But yeah, so those are my answers to questions. And like I said, my question is what series is currently not making you happy do you hope gets better in 2015? And I'll get off here.